What? I just want to make sure we do a nice review of the topics that you guys have seen recently, but maybe not recently enough for to keep it in your brain. We'll see. I just want to make sure we get prepared and ready for next week, right? Next week is CASAS testing. Um, and everybody's going to come in at either the 14th or the 15th. I don't have a schedule yet. Once the schedule is ready, I'll let you guys know what day you're coming in, but either the 14th or 15th to the Ward 8 site to take your test in person. You should also bring any devices that you were given with you so that we can prepare them for the summer, get them ready and refurbished and ready for use again. Okay.
Mr. G, are we taking the Casca at the school site?
At the school site. Yep. At Ward 8. Yeah. Ward
Okay,
8 will
thank
be
you.
back up and running. I'm at Ward 8 now. They're finishing up the final painting, but we have an elevator, we have a chairlift. It's really nice now. It's like whoa, it's back to being in school again.
That's
Mr. G,
good. I'm so happy.
Yeah.
Mr. Mr. G,
Yes.
this is Renee. I won't be able to come in because I'll be having surgery on the 10th.
Oh my goodness. Well, good luck with that.
Thank
It's gonna be a quick surgery. Is it what's going on? You gonna be all right?
I'm praying I'll be all right, but you know,
Okay,
it's
all
gonna
right.
be an in-and-out surgery though.
Okay. We're gonna keep you in our thoughts.
Yeah.
Thank
Hopefully
you.
things go well with you. Just let us know how you're doing. Okay, we just want to hear about your recovery, and we'll figure
Yes.
out things about testing later. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Also, you guys should be receiving an email today from the registration team about your intent to return. And that's going to be to return for the summer term or for the fall. Okay, so that's going to be coming out on today. Um, this Takesha's connecting. Takesha, what's going on with you and your connection? I just logged into your Gmail account using the same password that we told you, and it worked fine.
No, the lady just resetted it for me just now because when I tried it the first time, it didn't go through. So she had to reset the whole computer
Okay. All right.
for me to get in it.
All right. Well, I hope you can get into it soon. But thanks for joining via phone. All right, so the intent to return is going to come out. They're going to send you an email today to all Academy of Hope current students to ask if you're going to come back in the summer or the fall or both. All right, and so the summer term begins on July 26th. Okay, and the fall term begins on September 13th.
Can you repeat the dates again?
Sure, July 26th is when the summer term starts. That's a
Okay.
Monday. And then Monday, September 13th is when the fall term starts.
Okay.
Oh, I'll come back in the fall. Fall, I can't come because I'm moving.
Okay, all right. Well, good luck with that move. Yeah, so the summer term is only going to be 4 weeks. It'll be a 9 to 12 situation, and you'll have the option to come in person for some people because we're going to keep classes very small, but you can come in person, or you can just do it remotely. Okay. And it'll be from July 26th to August 27th, to just 4 weeks, right? And just in the morning, 9 to 12 for classes. But it'll be the same setup like it is now, right? So that means Mondays and Wednesdays for your math, Tuesdays and Thursdays for reading.
I'm gonna do both.
Okay, great. That's good to know. Excellent. All right, so I think everybody who is planning on coming is here. Yes. Yeah. I'm going to double check right now. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and work. I'm gonna share my screen just to show you guys what you're gonna open up today. And if you want to open it up and just listen to me as you follow along, or you can watch me right now and follow along with me and then kind of go back and do it later. But I just put a note sheet together for everybody that
Got it.
goes over how to use decimals. Let me pull it up. So I'm gonna share my screen so you can see what it looks like.
Adding and subtracting decimals.
All of it. I put all of it together. So in Miss Cook's math course, I went into the folder that's at the top of the page, June 7th folder.
Hey,
And,
Karen, mute yourself, Karen.
oh, yeah, Karen was.
Thanks, Karen.
You think there was no banana?
And
Oh,
if
no,
you
it's right
open
there.
the decimals
Not really.
review notes, that's what we're gonna work on today. All right, so you can open it with Cami, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna open it with Cami, and I'm gonna show you guys how we're gonna just walk through those notes. But those notes go over everything, right? Adding and subtracting, multiplying, and dividing, right? And this is just a reminder. We can work on it today, and you guys can do it on your own, like this kind of practice, adding and subtracting, multiplying and dividing. But if you're like, no, I know how to do this, I remember, this is all good, you don't have to review it, that's fine, right? It's really just, I'm just trying to prepare you for next week for testing, right? And for those of you who can't test, just preparing you in general, because eventually you will take the test. It's just good to keep these things fresh in your brain, okay? All right, so I'm gonna stop sharing my screen for right now. Let everybody go ahead and get into that folder if they want to. And I'm going to give you guys 1 minute. I'll be right back. I have to go answer a question for somebody.
Karen, I sent you a private message. Did you get my message? Okay. Thank you.
All right, I'm back. All right, so what we're gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. We're gonna go over these notes with the decimals. All right. All right, so again, this has everything you guys would ever need to know about how to work with your decimals, right? First part of this starts off with understanding decimals, how we read them, right? How they're said, and how they're related to fractions, right? So if I have something that has a 3 and then a dot and then a 1, how do I read that? How do I read this 3 and this dot and this 1? Is it 3.1? Is that the right way to read that?
3.1.
Okay, 3.1, very good. What's the other way for me to say it?
3 and 1/10.
Good, 3 and 1/10, right? So I can think about it as a fraction, right? And I would read it as 3 and 1/10, right? Or I can read it as 3.1, never 3.1, right? It's always 3.1 or 3 and 1/10. All right. So is 3.1 the same as 3.01? Is that the same thing? Just written two different ways?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
3.1 and 3.01? What's the difference between these two numbers right here?
No, the zero.
No,
You add
this is 0.
0.1.
0.1. Yeah.
Mhm.
zero.
So which one is bigger, 3.1 or 3.01?
Oh, shucks.
0.01.
3.01, why?
Because you added the 0, that makes it a larger number
But where is the 0?
before the 1.
It's before
Right after
the
the-
1 and
right
after the
after-
decimal, right?
Right.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Am I correct?
I don't know. Y'all tell me, is she correct? Y'all tell me.
Okay.
What do y'all think? 3.01 or 3.1? Which one's bigger?
Oh.
I'm just one of 5 people in class. Y'all could tell me. I don't know. Teach me.
Mr. G, you. Which one is bigger? 3.100 cents. Oh, you gotta do by the place values too.
Oh, what do you got to do, Miss Karen? What was that?
Yes, Miss Karen.
You got to do
Get
it by the
place-
place value.
place
So let me scroll down a little bit to our next page, right? Because our next
There
page
you go.
the place value
Right.
chart, right? That
Right.
helps me to explain my values. So if I
Right.
start here on the ones, which is right before the decimal point, right?
Uh-huh.
Right after the decimal point is the 10th place. So that means anything I put right after the decimal place has a bigger value than anything I put 2 places away from the decimal point. So 0.1 is going to be much bigger than 0.01. 0.1 is 10 cents. 0.01 is 1 cent. You're talking about a dime versus a penny.
Okay. Okay.
So when I have 3.1, right, I'm saying I have $3.10. When I say 3.01, I'm saying I have $3.01.
Right.
And 1 cent and a penny. Okay, so those zeros are important when they appear between the decimal place and a number. Okay, if they appear after all the numbers or before all the numbers, they don't necessarily have that much importance. But if they appear in between these decimal place and a number, it's a big deal, right? It changes the value. Okay, so when I have 3.01, it's smaller than 3.1, and also 3.001 is even smaller, right? Okay, so that's why it's 3 and 1/10, then 3 and 100th, then 3 and 1,000th, and 3 and 1/10,000th. All right, any questions about that?
Pretty much got it.
Okay. All right, so what I want you guys to do, you can do these all individually because I need to, you guys give me another minute. I have another student who came in with another question.
Okay.
So I have these 6 problems right here. They're written down in words. If you can use the examples that you have on this page and try to write them in numbers using a decimal, please try to do that for numbers 1 through 6. You guys can discuss it amongst yourselves as well, and then I'll come back and see if you guys have the right answers, okay?
Okay.
All right.
All right. Six. And tenths. So it's 6. So it's 6 and 9 tenths. And 9 tenths. So that's how that's gonna be. 13 and 15 hundredths. Okay. That's how that's gonna be. It's gonna be 6. This is 3, 6, and these are tenths. So that's tenths. So their place value time. Tenths is 1 point. It's a point in front of it. So that's gonna be 9 tenths. Gonna be that. And place value chart. Okay, so write the whole number. They put the decimal point. Step 3, the place value of the tenths.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Okay.
let's see.
We
Okay,
do the first one. It said 6 and 9 tenths. What did that one? How did that one look? Did we finish that one? Able to get that one, the first one? So we're going to write the whole number. The whole number is 6, right?
right.
Put a decimal point, and then it's 9 tenths. So where is 9 tenths? Is it right after the decimal or 2 places after the decimal?
Oh, goodness.
It's right after the decimal, 6.9.
Perfect, right? Exactly. That's what it's going to look like. It's just 6.9 for that first one. All right, so then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to try it with number 2, right? We're going to follow these same steps. We're going to write the whole number first, put the decimal point, and then figure out where the place value is. So if it's 10 and 8 tenths, 10 is my whole number. I'm going to put my decimal in, and then 8 tenths is just going to be right after the decimal, right?
Yes.
Perfect. 10.8. All right, this one looks a little more complicated. All right, this one I'm a little confused by. All right, it says 15 and 15 hundredths, right? So my whole number is 15. I'm gonna put the decimal, and then 15.
0.6.
Perfect. 0.15. Look at that. I'll remember these decimal things. You don't need me. Y'all got this.
27.
All right, it's 27 and 5 thousandths. We're gonna put 27. 27. Put my decimal. And then what do I do? 5 thousandths. What place is the thousandths? How many zeros do I need for thousands?
You need the 5 first.
5 first? 5,000?
Oh,
Let's look at our place value chart.
thousands.
Thousandths. 0.00, and then I put the number.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's going to be 0.005. Okay. Yeah, it's a little tricky reading these numbers. That's why that's why we're doing this practice. Trust me that there's a lot of people who still can't do this correctly. They might be presidents of companies, and you ask them to sit down and do this, they'd be like, wait, what? It's only when you're thinking about it do you have to remember how to do it. Okay, and then this one is 1 and 3 hundredths. So it's going to be 1 in my decimal and 3 hundredths. So how many zeros do I need?
1.
1
Wait a
zero
minute.
and then the 3,
One.
right?
Right.
1.03.
3. Right.
Right, 'cause
There you
it's
go, right there.
Mhm.
Right there.
Okay, good. All right, and then the last one is 150 and 19 ten thousandths. So it's
So
150 then my decimal, and then
1,
19
2, 3.
10,000ths.
So that's gonna be 3 zeros. Here we go.
Almost. So it's
Almost.
19, right? So it's actually going to be 2 zeros, then 19, because
10,
10,000
okay.
does have 3 zeros, but 19 is 2 digits. So that's to start
Okay,
one before. Okay.
right.
So it's 0.0019. Okay. All right. So that's how we write those numbers. The next step is figuring out how we do rounding, right? And why do we do rounding? Why is rounding important? What does rounding help us with?
Even out the numbers, right?
Because
Okay, to even out the numbers, I like that. Yeah,
Right.
to make the numbers sometimes a little bit smaller, right? So we don't have to write as many numbers. Okay, right.
if it's 5 and over, it's larger.
Good, right.
Right.
So remember, whenever we're looking at the place that we have to be rounded to, right? Make sure you go to that place, but you use the number after it to determine if you go
Up or down.
right?
Up or down, right.
Okay, good. All right, so here's some examples right here, right?
Okay.
It says to round 2.832 to the nearest hundredth, right?
0.9.
Well, the nearest hundredth, right? So the hundredth place is where the 3 is. So you have to go and underline my 3. What's the number after 3?
The 2.
It's a
The
2.
2.
So I don't have to
So
go
that's
up. I just
lower.
keep it right at 2.83. One
Right.
second. Okay.
Got it. I got it. So,
Okay, yep. So then my answer is just going to be 2.83, right? Remember, so Miss Bracy, you were ready to go to 2.9, right? But it wasn't asking for the 10th place, it was asking for the 100th place, right?
so
You have to go to that place value that it's asking you to go to and then round, okay? So for example number 2, we're going to round 43.5648 to the nearest thousandths. What number is in the thousandth place? Which one of
the
these?
4.
The 4 is in the thousandth place.
Yeah.
All right. And what number is after the 4?
The 8.
The 8.
8. So I have to go up from 4 to
50. 5. Yes, 5.
okay. So I can write it like this with the 0 after the 5, or I can write it without the 0 because once it's
Either
after
way,
the
the correct
decimal,
answer.
it's the same answer. Perfect.
Mm.
Okay. All right. So we have, those are just examples of how to round. I didn't put in any practice because I figure you guys know how to round pretty well. You've done it for a while. But the next one is on adding and subtracting decimals. And I'm sure you guys know how to add and subtract, right? But here are the steps just in case, right? I know we know how to add and subtract. We have to always line up our decimals when we're adding and subtracting. That's the important part, right?
Right.
When we add and we subtract, we must line up the decimal. But when we multiply and we divide, we don't line up the decimal. Okay. So here's some multiplication ones, okay? I want you guys to try these multiplication problems. Numbers 1 through 12. I'll come back and help you guys in 1 second. I'm just gonna go meet somebody. I'm gonna have a conversation real quick and I'll come back, all right? But we're gonna multiply these decimals. Remember, when you multiply, you don't line up your decimals. You just multiply as if the decimals aren't there, and then you count your decimal places after, and you have to move over by the number of decimal places that you have. All right. So if you need an example, follow this example, but try these problems and we'll see if you guys end up with the correct answer. All right. So take your time and I'll be right back.
Okay.
Wow.
How'd it go? Did you guys get the answers? What was the first one?
1.8.
1.8. You guys agree with her?
Yes.
Yes. that's
Because it's only one, this is only one time. That's
one
in front
decimal.
of
Perfect. Okay. You're off for number 2.
1.75.
All right. Excellent. Number 3.
0.279.
279.
0.279.
2.279. Okay, that looks good. Yep, perfect. Number 4.
33.75.
Yep, we have 2 decimal places, right?
So
Good.
2 decimal places, yes.
Mhm.
And you got 3 in that one.
Uh-huh.
Is
good.
there,
0.846.
because it's 3 decimals in that, so you had to add the 0 onto that.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Very good. Number 6.
40.24.
0.24.
Perfect. Number 7.
9.25.
254.
20.88.
20.88. 2 decimal places. Good. And number 9.
39.06.
06.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. It's 2 decimals.
10.
2 places.
141,000. 141.5414.
14.
4, 1, 4. So we have 4 decimal places, right? So
Right.
141.5414. Good.
Right.
All right.
0.23408.
5 decimal places.
Yes.
5.
5.
Okay. And the last one.
0.3136.
Okay. All right. So multiplying decimals, it always applies. You know, if we're lucky enough to be able to use a calculator, we don't have a lot of worries, right? But if we have to do it by hand, we always have to remember to count those decimal places out and make sure that they match. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Whew. Divide and decimal. Ugh. So many rules for divide and decimal. Okay. So if I am dividing by a whole number, and the number that I'm dividing has a decimal in it, all I have to do to remember is to bring my decimal up into my answer, right? I don't have to do
Right.
anything else. I don't have to do anything special when I'm dividing a number that contains a decimal and not by a decimal, right? It's really simple, it's straightforward. I get to do everything I would normally do. I just have to bring my decimal up, right? This is what this first example shows me. But when I have a decimal in my divisor, the number that I'm dividing by, right?
You have to move it twice.
Yeah, I gotta move it out. I gotta make it a whole number, right?
And then you have to move the decimal inside into twice too.
Yes. Perfect. Yeah. Very glad that you remember the
They say
rule.
because what you do with the outside, you have to do with the inside. That's what Ms. Cook taught us.
Good. Perfect. 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 All right. So you always have to remember that rule. This is the example that we see here. All right. And you have, and then you can divide. Okay.
Right.
And adding any zeros as necessary. Right. What about if I am multiplying and dividing by tens? What's the shortcut there? Like if I have to do 5.2 times 10, what does that mean? What's that answer? 5.2 times 10. without doing the math. You don't have to do any math. It's just multiplying by 10. What does that mean?
No zeros? Wait a minute, I gotta bring it back. Come on, girl.
So the rule is actually right here.
5.2 times 10 it'd be 5 point.
I'm multiplying.
Oh, you must.
So I'm going to the right, not to the left. You're on the right
Right.
track.
So that'll be, because that you move that. Move the decimal
Uh-huh.
to one place to the right that has a 10 of 1 0. Okay.
So that means one space. If I'm
One space.
multiplying by 10, I just move it one space to the right. So what 5.2 becomes what number?
52.
2.
52. That's it.
Okay.
Okay. So when you
Okay.
multiply by 10 or a number that looks like 10, so 100, 1,000, whatever, however many zeros you have in the number that you're multiplying by is how
Is
many
this one.
decimal places you move over to the
Okay.
right. Okay. So 5.2 times 10 is just moving that decimal one place to the right, so it becomes 52.
52.
52.
Okay. So then if I have 0.137 and I'm multiplying it by 100, what happens? I have two decimal places, right? So it
You have to, yes.
okay, so what is
Okay, move the decimal point 2 places to
2
the right, right?
places.
so what number does that become?
Wait, who played somebody? Okay. It becomes 0.137. It becomes 13.7.
Perfect. That's it. That's all. Yep. So it becomes
Because
13.
you have to move the decimal point twice, right? Okay, got it.
Okay. Yep. So however many zeros you have is how many places to the right. When you're multiplying, that's how many places to the right you're moving the decimal. Okay.
Okay.
Now, what about if I'm dividing by 10 or a number that looks by 10? I do the opposite, right? So I move it one place for every zero to the
To the left.
To the left.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 7.3 becomes
73.
0.73.
0.73.
0.73. I missed the point. Yeah.
Right, yeah. Okay. And then what happens with 87.5?
You move the decimal point 2 places to the left. It's right there.
It becomes
So it becomes
Becomes
0.875.
0.885.
okay.
Because
Right.
right.
It's a good shortcut for you to remember because you get to save time on the test, right?
Okay.
Because when you have to multiply by 10 or divide by 10 or a number that looks like 10,
Place.
it makes it much easier for you, right? You don't have to sit there and do
Okay.
that math. Okay. All right. So this is a good rule to remember. It just helps you to save a little bit of time. All right. Okay. All right. So we got some problems here working with tens and thousands. So you should only need about a minute to complete these. I'm just kidding.
A minute.
But
Wow.
we shouldn't have to do too much work on these, right? Because we know how to do it now. Right. So 3.7 times 10, we're only moving the decimal one place to the right. So this is what? What's our answer?
You move, okay.
37.
37.
Move.
Okay. What about number 14?
Would that be 6.54?
That's it. Number 15. Tried to trick you a little bit. What's number 15?
Number 15. Hold on.
473.1.
There it is. Well, let me check now. Just because I moved the 10 to the beginning doesn't change anything. It's the same question.
Oh, God.
All right.
That is true.
All right. Number 16.
58.
Good. 17.
So you move that. Gotta move it. 3 times.
69,830.
All right. Okay, we just
Well, hello, Elaine. How are you today?
Where you been?
A lot of appointments. I just came back from a root canal.
Oh, my
wow.
goodness. Wow.
Okay, number 18.
And 1.27
923.7.
That's
equals 923.7.
Because you only need the three, yeah.
okay. What about 19?
1654.
That's it. You gotta take that decimal all the way out.
Yeah. Okay.
About number 20.
448.7.
That's it. All right. And 1.23 times 1,000.
Oh,
Oh, 1, 2.
1,230.
1,230.
That's it. That's it. That's it. All right. So you guys did the multiplication well. So now we're going to do division. So now we're going to the left, not to the right. Okay. All right. So we have 16.5 divided by 10.
0.65.
That's too many. That's too many moves. We only gotta do one move.
1.65.
1.65. 1.65.
right.
Okay. So when you have 10, you're just moving it one place to the left. So 8.3 becomes 0.8.
8.3.
Mm-hmm. All right. What about number 24?
0.83.
Yeah. Yes. You can write. Yes. I can also put the 0 in. Yep. 0.83. Or I can write just 0.83. Yep. Okay. What about number 24?
0.092.
Perfect.
Right.
All right. What about number 25?
0.39.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
26.
26 is 9 with a remainder of 75.
What?
Huh?
Right?
Wait, where you at?
I'm sorry, 9 to 75.
Divided by 100.
I was like, where that 6 come from?
9.75.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good evening, girl.
I'm sorry, y'all. Threw y'all all the way off with that one, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
All right. 7.5 divided by 100.
0.075.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Number 28.
0.00273.
How many zeros did you put?
2.
Okay. I didn't hear them.
Wow. Goodness.
So 0.00273, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Because you gotta go to that.
0. Wait a minute.
You got to do 1, 2, 3, right?
Oh, because of right.
Yeah, you got 3 zeros, right? So you got to move it 3 places to the left.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Goodness. Whew.
All right. So same thing for number 29. You got to move it 3 places to the left. So 1, 2. What's my answer?
3. So it's gonna be okay.
0.0516.
Perfect. Okay.
Yes.
And then the last one.
0.091.
All right. Awesome. You guys are rock stars as per usual. All right, so this is just a bunch of mixed practice using the order of operations. We're not going to go through this, but this is just here if you want to do that practice, right? what I'm going to pass on to now. I just gotta
We'll do practice.
go back to our folder. 1 second.
I can start on this while you're doing that.
Yeah. If you want to, no problems. Okay, so we've gone over all you guys need to know for decimals. Let me just flash the folder one more time so that it's easier for you guys to understand what's going to happen. All right, so you all know that Miss Cook is out for the rest of this week, right? Because she had her surgery on Friday. It went well. She's doing well. She's recovering at home.
Okay.
But what you guys can do is finish those notes that I have up. You guys have a couple more pages. There's some word problems. This page right here is in the notes, the last page of the notes is this, right? Order of operations and some word problems to kind of practice. Okay.
Okay.
Feel free to finish that if you want to. I'm not going to make any requirements on what work you do, only that you do some work, right? Because any work you do to practice will help prepare you for next week's test. Okay.
Okay.
So my
Okay.
whole goal is just for you to practice, right? It doesn't matter how long or when, but just do it. I just want you to turn something into me. Okay.
You need to turn it in.
Yes, turn in something, right? So either this or I'm going to show you a bunch of things. I need you to turn in just at least one thing. I don't care what it is.
At least one, I'm okay.
Right. It doesn't matter what.
Turn it.
I just want you to practice. Okay.
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 Mr.
Alright.
G,
Yes.
I got a question. This Geneva. I did the exit ticket. It didn't give me my school.
Okay. I'll double check. That's why I didn't do that.
You gotta go back. Once you go out, you go back in and it'll give you your school.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, it should, because right now it's showing. I'll double check. But anyway, so you can do the notes. You can do the practice number 1, which is on decimals. It's addition and subtraction of decimals. Okay.
Okay.
Practice number 2 is multiplying and dividing decimals.
And the mixed one.
All right. And then practice number 3 is all of them together. Okay.
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 And then you also have this exit ticket. Any of that work you can do, and that's great. That's great. We'll go over it. We'll practice it. And we'll talk about it. Any questions you might have on Wednesday. All right.
Okay.
Yes.
Right.
Here's the other option. I'm giving you so many options, so many things you could do. Okay. Please do not sit here and say that I'm making you do all of this work. This is not what I'm saying. I said, if you want to practice, please go in and practice. I want you to. Okay.
Okay.
The
Okay.
other option is I just added another folder, this green folder here for CASAS review. Right, it's right
Okay.
under the June 7th folder. And
Okay.
this folder has some practice questions for you guys to prepare for next week's CASAS test. Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
good.
Okay. So on Wednesday, we'll also go over this. This is what our
Okay.
focus is going to be on Wednesday as well. So you have a chance to go
Okay.
over it now if you want to on your own, and then we can ask me some additional questions on Wednesday if you have. to.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, good.
All right.
Thank
You have
you.
plenty of things to go over. I'm going to let you go over them. You do not have to sit here with me and go over them, but whatever questions you have, you can go over them. All right. And then let me know. You can write me an email, right? You can call me, whatever the situation may be. I'll help you out, but just practice whatever practice you have, and then write down whatever questions you have to remember to ask them of me on Wednesday. Okay.
Okay.
I want you guys to feel like you have enough time to practice what you think you need to practice to prepare yourself for next week. All right.
Okay.
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 All right.
Okay.
All right.
Thank
Y'all have
you.
a great rest of your day.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Green.
No problem.
Thank
Mr.
you.
G.
All
All
right.
right, everybody. Have a blessed day.
All right. You all do the same.
Thank you.